Turn our focus to the alternative consumption models to escape interest rate hikes. This is in light of the Reserve Bank's continued hiking cycle, with the latest increase being that of 75 basis points, bringing the repo rate to 5.5%, pushing the cost of borrowing higher. Now, co-founder at CMO Rentoza, Ratan, joins us for this particular conversation. Thank you so much for your time. Interesting that we need to be finding alternative ways. Where does one start? Because it's unavoidable.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you so much.
Okay, so I think, to start, South Africans were under pressure on all sides financially, and with, inflation on the rise, jumping to over 6%, and monetary policy decisions for the remainder of the year will continue to increase interest rates and probably get to pre-COVID levels. So these policy implementations are in place to curb spending, right, and consumers taking on additional personal debt. But really, we're still going to need the products that we interact with daily, such as electronics, appliances, and maybe baby goods. So we have to find an alternative means of consumption, right? What this means is that you don't have to stop, living the life you have. You just have to make specific changes. And I think the solution to that is subscription, right? And the benefits of subscription there are a multitude of benefits. So you have access, there's affordability and flexibility. And this is what subscription gives you in this time of, consumers being under pressure. And I think at the core, sorry, go for it.
Let's unpack really what we are talking about in terms of subscription. What type of products are available to a consumer that allows you the flexibility to do this?
So with Rentoza, you have the ability to access these products such as electronics, appliances, baby goods. You're talking about your phone, tablets, laptops, microwaves, fridges, even strollers, car seats. All of these products you can get on subscription. And at the core of it, what subscription allows you to do is this flexibility. And with everybody still needing these products in their life, you don't have to own these products anymore. And I think that's the big thing that we have to understand, is that why own these products? Why extend yourself? Why take on credit, long-term credit-backed agreements that will put you in a position that you'll be under more pressure as you move forward? So flexibility allows you to access these products and utilize them for the outcomes you need, and then return them when you don't need them any longer. So you don't have this long-term burden, and you don't have to worry about things like maintenance, insurance, and all of those things. And really what it allows you to do is still achieve your outcomes and financially make better decisions with your life and your budget on a monthly basis.
Very interesting, and I'd like us to expand on this because it's a trend that we've been seeing pre-COVID, where it was starting to pick up, especially with what is known as a younger consumer. The initial stages of what is termed as a working class youth, that they do not want to be tied down in terms of a purchase that is interest rate related or lengthier than a period of 5 to 10 years. So what exactly are we seeing in terms of the patterns when it comes to ownership, as well as having the assets that you want, but essentially using a different payment model?
Well, so I think, what we're seeing is that, in the West and sort of in Europe, these models of subscription have been coming to life quite extensively. And with us being influenced by the West quite a bit, you'll start seeing these models become more pervasive across the African continent. In the EMEA region, you're actually seeing growth of about 18% year on year in subscription models. And that goes from sort of subscription as a service, as well as product subscription. What we're seeing here in South Africa currently is that there's a multitude of models already emerging. So things from car subscriptions all the way to sort of coffee and smoothie subscriptions, which we're seeing here in the country. So you are seeing a change. People are looking for alternative models. They're looking to change the way they live their lives. And these models that we think in the next sort of 5 years will become very pervasive in South Africa. You should be able to access almost everything via subscription. And I think what we allow people to do is the very essential products. And being essential means that you want these products to fulfill your daily activity, but also they are premium products. So you don't have to skimp and look at just price completely and take the cheapest product available. Actually, what you can do is get the best products, the best technology, and still access these products at an affordable rate.
What's your view then on criticism when it comes to this particular model, on the side of it being described as having a lack of ownership? I mean, essentially one can move into an apartment and all the appliances in there are on subscription, which essentially means that you own very little.
Exactly. I mean, I think, there's this wave of impermanence that we've seen that's happened over the last sort of 2 to 3 years, there's this unsteadiness with everybody and the economy. So people are not sure what the next 3 months or 6 months is going to look like, right? So, you want to make these decisions. You want to make the best decisions for your family and for yourself as an individual. And you have to start thinking very differently. And ownership, of course, is something that we believe in South Africa, and I think across the continent, which is something we need to change because, you don't have to own all of these things. To be honest, what ownership comes with is a lot of other things, such as, maintenance, what happens when these products need to be shifted, what happens when these products depreciate. Now, you're having to think about these things constantly now because every little sort of rand and cent that you're spending has an impact on the bigger picture in your life. Now, if we think about how people have traditionally looked at ownership, it's been, hey, I have to own this because, it's sort of, I feel like I've arrived or I've got the best stuff, and I think it's time for us to start thinking very differently about that, because at the rate of change of technology and, this layer of impermanence that we're seeing across not just Africa and the world is actually changing the way we need to interact with these products. So if you're accessing this product, you're actually just mitigating the risk of sort of depreciation and insurance in those pieces, and you're giving it to somebody else to manage, and you're just literally looking for a product that gives you a specific outcome, and that's it, and you're not having to worry about the other things that live on the periphery of and associated issues with that product any longer.
Thank you so much for those thought-provoking insights. That's Mishan Rathan from Rentoza talking to us about alternative models to basically escape the rise in interest rates. And that's where we leave it on the business desk, at least for now. Back to you, Mishan.